Hey guys, Brittany here, and as promised, I am now going to give you guys a more in-depth review of A Court of Mist and Fury. I did have a spoiler-free book review up on my page Monday. It got posted, but I wanted to really get in depth, more in depth with stuff that happened here, and I wanted to have a safe place to talk about all the spoilers that happened in the book because it was amazing, and I just want to talk about it. Okay, so for starters, and if you missed it, of course, I do give A Court of Mist and Fury 5 out of 5 stars because I loved it. It was amazing, and this is the second book. The first book was A Court of Thorns and Roses. You can also check out that review on my channel. Um, this is kind of hard to say, but I think that this one was actually better than the first one. What? If you saw my first book review, the A Court of Thorns and Roses, you were probably super shocked because I gave that like the most glowing review ever. I absolutely loved it. But you know what, guys? This just takes the story so much further. I love the character development. I love, the changes, everything. It's brilliant. I love it. So, let's get into it. First, I want to talk about characters. So, first, of course, we'll talk about Feyre. I liked Feyre in the first one, right? And then in this one, I was worried for her. She's got to adjust to becoming a Fae, and I figured that could be hard. You've got these new limbs and this new body you have to adjust to, and then heightened senses, all of them just so much more powerful than they were when you were human. And then I didn't even really think about all the powers she would have, but turns out she has these new powers from the seven High Lords that granted her a new life. And that's a lot to adjust to. So I was worried how she would handle it and how well it would go. But it went great. Like, there wasn't even an issue with adjusting to the new body and the senses. And then she like totally whipped those powers into shape. Like, it took her a while, getting started, but of course it would. Who can just master something immediately, that's completely new and foreign to them? So, but she did, with the help from Reese, and just got better and better and just became this total kick butt character, and I loved it. She was great. I was upset in the beginning, like she was really getting held down, and it was really upsetting. Like, Tamlin, you want to like Tamlin, like from the first one, you're like, he's Tamlin, he's the main love interest from the first book, and you're like, well, I want to like you, but you're really holding Feyre down, and it was upsetting. And then when Reese crashed the wedding, I just like lost it because I really liked Reese in the first book. Like, I thought, oh, that's such just a facade he's got on. He's really a good guy underneath everything. I like him. I really, really liked him. And then he came in, and I'm like, oh man, this is going to be good. And I actually love the fact that it ended up being Reese and Feyre together instead of Tamlin, because Tamlin, to me, he was never developed enough as a character. Like, he was just kind of whatever for me in the first one. And I liked Reese so much more. He was so much more interesting. And then in this book, I'm kind of rambling because I don't know. I didn't plan this well enough, I don't think. So I'm rambling. I'm sorry. And then in this book, A Court of Mist and Fury, Reese. That was probably like my favorite part of the whole book, was just getting to know Reese. Okay, because he's the type of character, like I said from the first one, that I liked anyway. So getting to know him better, seeing his motivation, seeing his history, seeing why he's doing these things, what's happened, his plans that he's got in his mind, it was amazing. And I love Reese. And let me just tell you how much I love Reese, okay? Reese is probably, he's rivaling Will Herondale for my affections. What? Gasp! I know, as obsessed as I am with Will Herondale, I think I'm just that obsessed with Reese now. Truly, I am. I loved him. I thought he was a great character. Because, I mean, and let me just compare for a minute. You do have Will Herondale. He kind of has this good, pure heart, and he's hiding it under this, oh, I've got to be dark, and I can't, love, and I'm not worthy of love, and all of that. And Reese is kind of the same thing. He's heart of gold. He cares for his people. I mean, just Valeris alone, he cares for those people so much and is willing to do anything for them. And he cares about his inner circle so much. And he cares about Feyre so much. And he loves and he protects. And he hides it under this mask of, this bad guy who's not worthy of anyone else's love or affection. And that, they're very similar in that fashion. And I think maybe that's one of the reasons why I liked him so much. He was definitely my favorite character from the book, from both books. I love him. I love Reese. And let's talk about the inner circle. Okay, I'm not going to talk about them too much. I loved all of them. Okay, Amryn, Moore, Asriel, and Cassian. They were total kick butt, awesome, witty. I love witty characters, right? So the witty banter between all of them was perfect. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And yeah. Okay. Something I have to talk about is Lucian. And I'm kind of mad at him, right? Because I liked Lucian a lot in the first book. Because he's, again, the witty. Witty. It does it for me, okay? So the witty banter. I loved Lucian. But then in this book, it's like, where'd your spine go? Like, he's so loyal to Tamlin that he won't do what's right. He'd rather stand behind whatever Tamlin says than actually stand up for, his friend, Feyre, and do what he knows is right. But then at the end, okay, I did not see that coming. What? Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Lucian is mated to Elaine. That blew my mind. Like, I almost thought maybe Nesta and Cassian. Like, I thought that was going to happen because, the banter. But I did not see that happening. I was pleasantly surprised, and, like, that's crazy. Elaine and Lucian. So, I kind of hope it works out because I do like Lucian despite his overpowering loyalty to Tamlin. And that's crazy. So I'm excited to see where that goes in the next book and how that progresses. It'll be very, very interesting. While we're talking about mates, did I mention Reese and Feyre are mates? I love it. I love it. I kind of wondered in the beginning of the book, Feyre was talking about, when she was talking about the wedding and Tamlin, talking about how their mating bond hadn't snapped into place yet. And I was like, hold up. No, if they were mates, they'd know it by now. Like, after everything, that would be securely in place. And the fact that it wasn't already had my mind going like, oh my gosh, her and Tamlin are not meant to be together. And they weren't, which is sad. I think Tamlin, underneath it all, is still a good guy. He just has this crazy overprotective issue that he needs to work on. And I don't know what I want for him at this point, because it's like part of me, I want him to be happy, but how's he going to be happy right now? Is he going to grow up and get over himself and not be like this overbearing prick and find someone else to be with? Or is he just going to have to die for the cause? You know what I mean? Because books like these, you always have characters that just, they gotta go, and it's, hopefully for a good reason. I don't know. And that's kind of honestly where I see it going at this point. Like, I don't know who he could be happy with, and you don't want him to be alone forever. So, and that would kind of break the spell over Lucy, and he wouldn't have anyone to be fiercely loyal to. So maybe Tamlin just has to die, and hopefully he dies for good reasons. Finally trying to do something good against the King of Highburn, which he made this terrible deal with like an idiot. Um, anyway, so yeah, that's kind of where I see the characters now and where I think they might go in the next book, which I'm super excited about. But why do I have to wait a year? Like, I'm gonna go crazy waiting for the second or the third book to come out. Ridiculous. So anyway, moving on. You can check out my blog. I did a couple of blogs about the book and the difference in how Reese loves Feyre and how Tamlin loves Feyre and how Feyre loves both of them. So you can check out that blog. I'll put a link in the description down there somewhere. Okay. Moving on from characters. Yeah, that's good on characters for now until I think of something else. Next is the plot. Okay. So you have, of course, the the plot that goes over the whole thing, which is we've got to find these two halves of the book. We've got to, nullify the cauldron's powers. So that it doesn't tear down the wall, so that whatever the humans are safe, and then we've got to stop the King of Hybern before war decimates Prithian. Okay, that's that's going over the whole thing. Yeah, that's technically your plot. I think the development of the characters and the growth was more the plot of this book. You didn't really even see the King of Prithian, or not Prithian, King of Hybern until like a good chunk into the book. It was pretty close to the end. This was more about let's develop Feyre, let her grow and learn to use her powers that she's got now, and let's develop Reese and make you fall in love with him because you did. Good job, Sarah. Good job. You made me fall in love with Reese. So I think it was more about that and the characters figuring out where they stand in the world before we get into the big war, which I'm sure will be most of the third book. And so this is kind of, I guess, a mixture of characters and plot, but I really liked that because things didn't happen too fast. Like sometimes in this book, what could have happened is, we say, oh, and then Feyre realized she was falling in love with Reese, and then just moved on and talked more about fighting and war and books and cauldrons, and not really seen it develop and seen it grow and seen her grow. So I like more that we had the character development and we had getting to know all these people and where they really stand before we went into the war. So I enjoyed that. I think that was a good choice on Sarah's part. And yes, I'm referring to the author as Sarah because I'm still not 100% convinced that you pronounce her last name Maas. I'm just not sure, so I'll just call her Sarah. And so I really like the character development. As for the book Cauldron plot, yes, sure, sounds good. Can't wait. I was too distracted by the character development to really put much thought into that. But it sounds, sounds plausible, sounds good. Can't wait. I'm super excited for the third book, so it's gonna be great. One thing I do want to talk about at this point is the city of Valeris. I feel very inspired, like, by just Valeris in itself. And Starfall. Aw, that's so pretty. Like, it's beautiful. Just in my mind, that was beautiful. And I know, we couldn't see it. There's no pictures. I don't care. That's what reading is about. I can read it and picture, these souls that look like stars just shooting across the sky and then splattering like neon paintballs on people's faces. So I was really inspired. I think it's a beautiful city, and I'm actually working on some Lego mocks. I did a like miniature micro scale mock of Valeris and Starfall. Excuse me. But it didn't really turn out very well. But I do have that video up on my channel if you want to check it out for some odd reason. But I'm working on a bigger scale one. And I wanted to let you know this one won't be a surprise. It's just I want you to kind of keep my feet to the fire and make me actually work on it because it's Valeris and it'll be really cool. Right? Right. Okay. So I love the fact that there was just this hidden city and that Reese loved it so much that he kept it protected. And I think that's maybe one of the reasons why I loved it so much, because Reese loved it so much. And if he was willing to go through such great lengths to keep it hidden and keep it safe, then it's something that I want to love too, and I realize that. And you've got it's just peaceful and everybody loves each other, and you got the artist quarter, the rainbow, which is awesome, and the river and the mountains and it sounds great. It sounds like an awesome little hidden city with great people. So I'm super excited to work on that, and I loved it. I was very inspired. I felt very inspired by Valeris, and I think part of it is because I understand like that feeling of just being home. Like this city is my home. I've felt that way before, and I've just gone places that I've absolutely fallen in love with instantly. Um, like when I went to Chicago, I've been there a couple of times, and every time I'm there, I'm like, I love this city. I love it more than like anywhere else I've ever been. So I understand like just going to a city and just falling in love with it and the different things about it and what makes it unique and what makes it awesome, and feeling just safe and secure and feeling like it's home. I understand that feeling. Um, so I get it. So I really liked Valeris, and I think it was very well written on Sarah's part. She was able to convey that emotion and make me feel that, like make me feel like Valeris is the place I want to be. So good job, loved it. Let's talk about Sarah, and let's talk about Sarah's writing style, okay? I'm going to incorporate a bit of the Throne of Glass series here. Yeah, they're right there. I can't point. Right there somewhere. So I read that series, and I'm actually on the last book now, or the fourth book now. And I noticed something when I started reading this book, a similarity between the two series, is that Sarah J can craft this perfect fairy tale and give you this perfect fairy tale ending, and you're like so happy, and you're like, oh yeah, these people are in love and they're awesome and they're happy, and they defeated the evil person, whoever, and everything's right with the world and everything's good and they're happy and it's awesome and happily ever after. And then giving you another book and being like, not uh, just taking that fairy tale ending and ripping it apart and breaking your heart and saying, nope, that's not gonna happen. But then, slowly but surely, she remends your broken little heart, and she takes it and shapes it into something new. For example, at the end of a Court of Thorns and Roses, it was all, yeah, Feyre and Tamlin, true love, together forever, happily ever after, I love it, yay. You thought that was going to happen. Like when I started reading this book, I totally thought we were just going to have more, they're in love, okay, together forever, Beauty and the Beast, right? No. She just shattered that ship. Like that ship sunk, okay? It's down in the depths, gone. And but she sunk our ship, but then she gave us a new one and was like, here comes this Reese, Feyre, I don't know what you'd call them together. Feyreese? I don't know. Here comes this new ship. Have this one. This one's a real ship. They're mated, so hopefully that means hopefully that means that ship's not gonna sink. And just reformed it, gave our hearts something else to ship and to love and to be happy for. And she did that in Throne of Glass. Like the first book, you're like, oh, everybody's so happy, and yeah, there's a love triangle, but it's gonna work out. And then the second book, it was like, anyway. So I think that's a specialty of old Sarah J. But she does it so well. Like she can totally manipulate the language beautifully. I love, repetitiveness is one of my pet peeves. She's not repetitive. She uses strong analogies and can use a different analogy to describe the same thing several times, so that's good. She uses different adjectives, and the verbs that she uses are very well chosen. And I really I enjoy reading what she wrote. I said this. I don't know if I said it in my last video or my blog. I think it's my blog. I said that I think that I could take anything Sarah J. Maas writes, be it a novel, a wanted ad, or a phone book, I would read it and be happy and consider my life changed. Like, she's a very good author. I really, really enjoy her writing. So I love her as a writer. She's definitely, I would say, in my top 3 now. Yeah, her and Cassie and Michael Scott up there in like my top 3 authors. So they're really, really good. I love it. She's maybe new on the scene, to me at least, but she's definitely one of my favorites. I really, really enjoy her works. So anything else? What else do we want to talk about? Oh, okay. Sorry, it took me 20 minutes to get here, but let's talk about the end of the book, okay? So like I said, this is totally the video to watch only if you've read the book, because otherwise it's like spoiler, 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 spoiler. So the ending, right, where first of all, I was upset that the King of Highburn took their little eyeball connection, whatever, tattoo, that bond that they had, and took that away, because that's kind of awesome. Like, I know they still have the mating bond, and that's good, and they can like feel each other, and of course when they're near each other, since they both have the daemati, whatever they are, and can read, slip past each other's walls or whatever, they'll still be able to communicate. But from so far away, like, Reese is over here in the night court and Feyre's over here in the spring court. So without that bond, or it won't be as strong, it won't be as easy for them to communicate. I'm assuming maybe they'll do the paper notes back and forth like they were doing in this book. But that was upsetting, because it was a really cool bond, just to be able to feel each other and kind of communicate that way. It was awesome. So I was sad that that happened. I think it was kind of cool, actually, that the sisters became Fae. Maybe that's just me, because I'm obsessed with fairies and Fae, and I think it's awesome, that they're not human anymore, because, I mean, human, whatever. Now they get to be Fae, so that's exciting. And I think, actually, they will adjust well, because Elaine now has this mating bond with Lucian, and I think she'll be okay. And Nesta is just a little firecracker, and she probably absolutely hates it, but she's going to adjust well to be able to kick butt really hardcore as Faye. So I think she'll be okay. She'll be stubborn, but she'll be good. And, oh man, I don't think I could have done what Feyre did as far as faking what she felt for Rhys, and like what happened, like faking that Rhys altered her mind to make her think she loved him, and she really still cared for Tamlin. I don't think I'm strong enough to have done that. So what she did was just crazy, and good for her. She's doing it for completely selfless reasons to save everyone. She saved everyone there, that mattered, and she's gonna spy. She's gonna be a little spy in the spring court. But I'm thinking ahead, like, okay, what does that mean now? You're back with Tamlin. So, like, what if he, like, kisses you and so forth and so on? Like, are you gonna go that far for the cause? Are you gonna, like, make up some excuses to get out of it? Like, how's that gonna work exactly? Because the physical part of their relationship is pretty much the only part of their relationship that was still standing after they got back from under the mountain. So now what? Like, she's obviously not in love with him, but I don't think he's gonna let well enough alone and just let her mope around, like, I don't know how she's gonna handle that, and I am kind of curious about that, the physical side of things, and how far she'll go and what she'll do, because anyway, I think it's very interesting, and I'm wondering how far like how long it'll go on. Like how long will she say a spy before she tries to get out of it, tries to go back home to the night court. And oh, she's High Lady. Take that. What up? That made me super happy because Tamlin's all, there are no High Ladies. And Reese is like, hey, let's go make you High Lady. And that was awesome. I loved it. Yes, you know, female empowerment. Woo! Uh, anyway, I thought that was amazing. It was awesome. And I'm so excited. I can't wait for the next book. And I'm sure there's like 1,000 other things that I wanted to talk about, but it's kind of early, so my mind's just not completely here. And I have dragged this on for 25 minutes, which I did say that this was going to be a very long video. I don't know if I said that in this video, but when I was talking about it in my last video, I said it's going to be really long. So hopefully you were prepared for this. So, very excited. Court of Mist and Fury. 5 out of 5, and I think I actually did enjoy it more than the first one, which is hard. I mean, I loved the first one. The first one was great, but I think this one was better simply because of the characters. It had more character development, and I liked the characters better. Like, I liked Reese more than Tamlin, and there was a lot more Reese in this book than there was in the first one, and a lot less Tamlin. So I really liked it, and I liked the inner circle. You know, Reese's inner circle. I really liked all of them. So I think I think overall I just liked it better because I liked the story and the characters better. So it was really good. I loved it, loved it, loved it. Definitely recommend it to everyone, and we'll definitely continue the series. I cannot wait to continue the series, you know. So what are your thoughts? Hopefully you're watching this because you have read the book, and let's compare notes. You know, so leave a comment or send me a message. Hit me up on Instagram. Tell me your thoughts. What did you agree with the things that I said? Did you disagree? Do you have opinions about stuff I just completely left out and didn't talk about? What's going on in your mind? How do you feel about this book that I love so much? Did you like it better than the first one? Did you like the first one better? Do you still ship Feyre and Tamlin? Do you? I don't. I'm totally like Feyreese. I don't know if that's what we call them, but it sounds cool. Let me know. Do you ship them with other people entirely? Let me know. I want to hear from you guys. That's what this is all about. Let's make it interactive. Talk to me. Tell me what's on your mind, because I want to know. And yeah. If you have not read it and you were just watching this out of the goodness of your heart, bless you for that. And maybe now you'll read it. Start with the first one, A Court of Thorns and Roses. Start with that one and then go to this one because it's awesome. It's a great series. It's amazing. It's phenomenal. Like I said, Sarah J is just a master. I love her. So anyway, thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, links to my blog will be in the description. And yeah, that's what I got. I'm going to stop talking now. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, you guys. I will see you next time. And until then, remember to smile, Starshine.